this was... So we're looking at the wall, the Starry Night wall, jumble Starry Night wall, starting with one pattern and trying to maximize flow.
How we want the flow to go.
It's really, really amazing what happens when you separate these by black too. I hadn't thought about that, but as opposed to this over here, which is all combined, but they really become.
Well, this also becomes a little bit like our Mondrian.
Oh, right.
For Raised in Captivity.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's the strength of the black lines. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that weird? I mean, I guess I had thought about it, but I hadn't subconsciously thought about it. How it. Yeah, I guess it does break it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wrong. So we put it back together.
It's called experimenting.
So if it weren't for the actual patterns, where would we want that other square? Would we want it up here? That kind of feels to me like a balance of.
Do we really need another square? That's the question.
Well, now we've gone from this over here being really blocky and simple to this now being very complex.
Yeah.
But yet still lots and
but
lots
it has
of
a lot of
flow.
flow.
And now it seems like this is the side that's not as complicated. Now I'm just advocating a simple shift of that.
And that goes
and that piece goes
here.
In. Oh no! Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong. It would be that, and this piece just gets turned.
Just gets turned. Do you want me to cut that one?
Well, you know what? I have another copy of this thing. Why don't I take one of those
and cut it from there?
Cut it from there so that this one stays.
But I have one in my pocket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, use that one since it's ruined now, since it's folded anyway.
Oh, sorry. I do not appreciate. It's this one, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
So then besides the actual pieces themselves and the ordering, then we're thinking about whether or not the wall itself is mounted to the back wall of the theater as a work of art, rather than as a wall that touches the ground, but just, but lifting it up onto the wall. And weighing the options of whether or not it stays stationary as this work of art and this projection surface, or does it have some sort of development momentum by letting it shift as the complexity of the piece opens up? Does it affect the space? Or do the people in and what's going on with them, does that affect the space? So that's what we're weighing. And as always, we're thinking about this September show, which is always, the desire for it is to be relatively simple to construct in the beginning of the semester. Although I think You Are Here, if you think about it, was probably the most complex set.
On a September show?
No, I mean, maybe it was September. No,
Betty's Summer Vacation.
Yeah, or
which we didn't do.
Or Proof, but I mean,
Proof.
No, I mean last year. I mean, the Love's Labours was pretty simple. Three Penny was moving, pretty simple. In some ways, it was
the most complicated. Yeah,
in some ways.
But it was just the flats and the track.
So this to be up top.
Just turn the other way.
I don't know. Oh, so that's turning it.
That way, so that it brings back the energy.
It's weird, it doesn't do that though.
No.
Be doing it that way?
Yeah. Now the other thing is that we are going to want to see the separation between each of these things, even though we don't have black lines, but that there is they're not perfectly aligned.
So adding the tiniest layer of differentiation of topography, right?
Yeah,
so that
that's
there's
true. Yeah,
a little bit subtle.
yeah, like an inch difference between this, you know, that they would be raised an inch above the others
Right.
or so.
Just ever so
So
slightly.
they're all in slightly different levels.
So this time, removing the black lines, the
Yeah.
Mondrian quality to it, and adding more of a sculptural,
A sculptural,
three-dimensional quality to it. Cool.
which is already going to have because of this is going to be made with styrofoam eaten up with acetone.
Or so that there's a negative effect
Yeah,
eaten into it, or you're going to experiment with.
I'm going to
Paper
experiment
mache?
with paper mache, and I'm going to experiment with foam. You know that foam that you use
spray
to filler?
foam.
Spray
So that
foam.
there'd be so that these
Yeah.
these grains would be
And it's
positive.
kind of fun when you see it go. And so you don't have a lot of control with it, but you can pretty much get more like a fingerprint quality.
Right. The cool thing was we were when we were discussing this idea of this dynamic energy for this wall, the swirl, that made famous in Starry Night also has other connotations in different cultures. Were you saying that circle means
That circles
speech?
in pre-Columbian and Mesoamerican cultures like the Maya, the Aztecs, they used a swirl like that to symbolize speech, that somebody was speaking,
That is so cool.
and water and air.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
that hopefully this is sea and air speech. I also think there's isn't it the Maori who does the
Oh, the
you know,
Maori, yeah, they do the
the
stencils with their hands
Yeah.
on cave paintings.
and also thinking
Okay.
about the kind of the henna tattoos that get done in other
Mhm.
cultures with that with these
Well, the
these
swirl is a
swirls.
very important symbol because it doesn't touch itself, but goes around and around and around.
Kind of like the world. Anyway, that's what we're working on.
Bara så. Mm.